morning. A Spokane man's been arrested for murdering a woman in California more than 40 years ago. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk is looking into the cold case and what finally led detectives to the man. Kyle?
Well, it's a question that stumped authorities in California for more than 4 decades. They recovered DNA from this 1979 murder, but didn't know who it belonged to. Court documents show that answer was sitting in an evidence locker right here in Spokane. One can only imagine what 63-year-old Harold Carpenter was thinking when Spokane police and investigators from California showed up to his Spokane apartment, arresting him for a murder that happened more than 40 years ago. In 1979, a woman was beaten, strangled, and left for dead at a South Lake Tahoe campground. Evidence was gathered, including a sexual assault kit, which provided a DNA sample. But no arrests were made, and the victim was buried in a nondescript grave marked unknown female until she was finally identified by family in 2015 as Patricia Carnahan. More than 4 decades went by, and police still didn't know whose DNA they had from the crime scene. Court documents show that answer was sitting in an evidence locker in Spokane. Pay attention to this next part. In 1994, 15 years after Carnahan was killed, Harold Carpenter was arrested and accused of raping a woman in Spokane. He claimed it was consensual. The case was suspended, but the rape kit collected from the victim was placed in evidence, where it sat until state laws changed, requiring police departments to submit old sexual assault kits that hadn't been tested. The process takes time, and SPD had around 1,500 kits dating back to 1981. Last month, police learned the DNA from the 1994 rape kit belonged to the same person whose DNA was recovered at Patricia Carnahan's murder. Harold Carpenter is now in the Spokane County Jail on a fugitive charge, pending extradition to California on a murder warrant. Authorities say this could be one of the oldest cold cases in the country to be solved using DNA from a sexual assault kit. And Carpenter declined our request for a jailhouse interview tonight. Court docs show he was arrested for a DUI about 140 miles away from the murder scene the day after Patricia Carnahan died. In the studio, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.